of a police officer's dog. Plus, a jury finds a Newton County, Missouri man guilty of shooting a man he claimed keyed his car. And Crowder College plugs into the world of esports, claiming a national title in the process.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Warner. One person is dead and 5 others injured following a crash near Lamar yesterday. The crash happened around 2:30 Tuesday afternoon on Route T, about 4 miles southeast of Lamar. Officials with Missouri State Highway Patrol say 27-year-old Elizabeth Kirch of Lamar was killed when she failed to yield to another car. 3 passengers in Kirch's car were flown to Cox South Hospital in Springfield for their injuries. The driver of the other vehicle was taken to Mercy Joplin with serious injuries. Carthage man is dead following a crash yesterday afternoon. The crash happened around 1:30 on Tuesday on Missouri 59, about a mile south of Diamond. According to Missouri Highway Patrol, 70-year-old Robert Lowry of Carthage was driving a car when he went off the road, hit a culvert, and overturned. Lowry was taken to Mercy Hospital in Joplin, where he later died from his injuries. Police have increased the reward for anyone who can offer information leading to the arrest of whoever brutally killed a police officer's dog. Last week, Ranger was found dead in his owner's backyard. Police today announced they've increased the reward to $3,000. Parsons Police Chief Robert Spink said in a statement, quote, "This was not just the killing of a dog. It was a brutal mutilation of a beloved pet and attempted threat to one of our officers." A jury finds a Newton County man guilty of shooting a man who he said keyed his car. Authorities say in 2019, Donald White went to a man's house and started shooting the man's vehicles with a shotgun. Then, when that man came outside, he shot that man as well. Now, he survived. White testified that he went to the house because his vehicle had been keyed. White is convicted of second-degree assault and armed criminal action. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt says he'll continue to fight President Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandates.
President Biden's administration does not believe in personal responsibilities.
The governor appeared on Tuesday with Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor. The state has asked a federal judge to stop the mandatory vaccinations for federal employees and National Guard members.
And my problem is not with the vaccine. My problem is with the notion of it being mandated. I also have a problem with the use of our paychecks as the tool or weapon against our employees, our good Oklahomans. And I have a problem with the federal government using our good employers to do the dirty work for the Biden administration.
Governor Stitt maintains that the federal mandates are unconstitutional and an example of federal overreach. The state is filing 5 lawsuits to fight the federal mandates. We're just taking a look at that tower cam shot. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just the way you said this morning, it is shaping up to be a beautiful day.
Yeah, and a complete 180 from what we saw the other day with a lot of cloud cover and some of us trying to cash in on a few snow flurries and sprinkles at times, Chris. But 7th and Range Line, the look, you can't just beat it. Pretty much open blue skies with the backside of that wave clearing the last of the cloud cover very early this morning. And that's, again, setting the stage for a pretty good afternoon with a double check of the radar network. Absolutely nothing to track as far as this afternoon is concerned. And as advertised as well, temperatures were right around 50, 51 degrees as we get this afternoon underway. And thankfully, the breeze is not strong enough for a wind chill, so it thankfully still feels like the upper 40s to about the lower 50s outside. I still think we're set to go to 56 degrees this afternoon with that light south breeze of 5 to 10 miles per hour. But another quick wave will come our way later on tonight. That's going to bring a little more cloud cover back into play. And again, Chris, maybe a few sprinkles, but you can see how we go to 47 at midnight and then warming to 51. So ahead of this next wave, we're going to see that south breeze really pick up. And it's going to really result in a few mild days as we get closer to the start of the weekend. We'll break down the rest of those numbers and the rest of the forecast as well coming up in a bit.
Looking forward to those more mild days that are on the way because, like you mentioned yesterday, cloudy, cold, dreary, miserable, just blah. Yeah, so today's a lot better.
Yeah, it was just a struggle to get in the mid-40s in general the other day, but we had no problems whatsoever today.
Good deal. Nick, thank you so much. Well, on Tuesday, Leggett and Platt presented new safety equipment to the Franklin Technology Center in Joplin. The company donated a total of 925 respirator masks and a couple of different sizes and 250 filters to Franklin Tech.
Now, these masks are going to be used not only by our daytime programs, which serve high schools from Joplin, Webb City, Carl Junction, and Sarcoxy, but also will help out our adult programs at night that serve people from throughout the area.
Now, Franklin Tech, of course, has locations Joplin High School and 810 South Wall in Joplin. Well, in the spring of 2020, Crowder College jumped into the world of esports. Now, they've claimed their first national championship. Tyler Clement picked up first place in the NJCAA Esports National Tournament. His game of choice? Call of Duty Warzone. And that's obviously a big accomplishment and will help the sophomore as he continues to look at continuing his career at a university.
I was trying to play off placement, but also get my elims and everything. So getting those together, that first game, I won that entire game. But the second one, I got fourth in. But it was pretty cool seeing, being able to do that and have that, I guess, luck to get that far in without being stopped.
7 other Crowder students participated in the national tournament, playing games such as NBA 2K21 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Well, the Joplin Parks and Recreation Department and Mercy Hospital are encouraging families to be active during the holidays, and they're offering an incentive. The Roll and Stroll program is an activity challenge created to coincide with the holiday tree trail. The first 200 people who register with the Parks Department and complete at least 5 listed activities will receive plush knit beanies from Mercy. Activities include walking, biking, or even roller skating. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather, all in the first 7 minutes of the KOAM News at Noon. Still ahead, as tensions build between Ukraine and Russia, the Biden administration is trying to find a diplomatic solution to the crisis. And later, we're making razzle-dazzle raspberry bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. As tensions build between Ukraine and Russia, the Biden administration is trying to find a diplomatic solution to the crisis. But U.S. military advisors are also involved in case diplomacy fails. CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
These are the signs of growing tensions between Ukraine and Russia. Ukrainian jets perform flight drills for U.S. military advisors. They've been on the ground to help boost Ukraine's air defenses and inspect their air force. This comes as Russia builds up its forces along the border. Recent satellite photos show tens of thousands of Russian troops deployed near Ukraine, poised, U.S. intelligence officials fear, for a possible invasion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed this week to fight off any Russian aggression with whatever it takes, including U.S. military hardware, like the Javelin anti-tank missile systems. On Tuesday, President Biden warned Russia's president of the consequences of an invasion, including possibly more military equipment for Ukraine, along with tough economic sanctions. A former American ambassador to Ukraine expects officials will be watching for signs of a Russian retreat.
The biggest sign would be, does the Russian military begin to draw back away from Ukraine? But also, and perhaps more quickly, do you begin to see a change in the rhetoric coming out of Moscow, which has been pretty over the top the last week?
As winter sets in, Ukraine digs in, while hoping any roar from above comes from friendly jets. Ian Lee, CBS News.
U.S. intelligence officials tell CBS News a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine could involve as many as 175,000 troops. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Move over, banana bread. There's a new quick bread in town, and it's earning rave reviews.
But first, Nick Kelly returns with a look at your complete forecast.
We're starting off our look at weather with the big picture over the lower 48 because this really tells quite the tale about what's moving out and what's trying to head our way. First, this upper level wave, this one that stuck us with a lot of cloud cover and some random flurries and sprinkles yesterday, that's long gone now. We're enjoying mostly sunny skies while we wait for this upper wave coming out of Utah to try to change things up a bit as we head toward the nighttime hours ahead of us. In the short term, at the surface, Another area of high pressure keeping us as quiet as can be with that south breeze, light but back in action. That and mostly sunny skies that we have seen since we got past sunrise. This is what's been really helping out temperatures. Remember, we just struggled to get into the mid-40s alone yesterday, but look at this beautiful blue sky from 7th and Range Line from the east side of Joplin. That and that south breeze means we're already at 51 degrees. So finally able to get out of the 40s, which is, again, we struggled to do over the past few days. A southwest breeze at 9 thankfully doesn't give us a wind chill. And as long as that humidity stays pretty low, I think we can go another 5 degrees before the day is all said and done. In the meantime, everybody's pretty much in the same ballpark as far as temperatures. Most of us right around 50 degrees. With that south breeze in control. But again, it's not a big breeze or a noticeable breeze. It's staying pretty light at about 5 to 10 for most of you, maybe pushing 13 miles per hour out near Chanute. But again, this still means we are set to go to 56 degrees for afternoon highs today. Then once we get towards sunset, we're going to see temperatures drop to 52. But it gets a little interesting actually as we head toward the overnight. We'll be near 49 by 9. 47 will be the low at midnight. And then we're actually going to start to warm through the overnight, certainly back close to 51 by the time we head toward the Thursday morning commute. That's ahead of the next wave coming out of Utah. So let's break things down on the future track here. Again, everybody will be in the mid-50s today. We're all looking good with mostly sunny skies. Fast forward into this evening, that wave coming out of the Rockies, that's going to bring in some partly, maybe mostly cloudy skies for some, and maybe just enough moisture along the journey to maybe squeeze out a few sprinkles in a couple of spots. But you can see how we're not seeing a big deluge of any radar return showing up on the future track. So it's going to be the exception rather than the rule, the few sprinkles that we might expect as we go through the overnight. But once we get this system out of here throughout Thursday, we'll go back to partly to mostly sunny skies, and look at how mild it's going to be for Thursday. Highs easily pushing into the upper 60s. We are looking good for Thursday and even Friday as we get the weekend started, since we'll be briefly back on the warmer side of the jet stream. However, another system comes our way as soon as we get into Friday. And sticking with what Doug said the other day, ahead of that approaching cold front, we're going to watch for some scattered showers during the afternoon and evening, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, but I think the good shot for any storms and even severe weather is going to stay out in the Tennessee Valley and parts of the deep south. Once this system clears on through, its main job is going to really cool us down, and it certainly will once we get back on the cooler side of the jet. In fact, let me show you what I mean on the 7-day forecast. We're going to go, again, 56 this afternoon, 68 Thursday, 73 before that cold front comes through on Friday. Then behind it, we go back into the chill. 49 on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. At least we're dry Saturday and Sunday, Chris. And then another mild stretch wants to try and return. 62 on Monday and 67 on Tuesday.
Almost looks like a repeat of this past week, just a couple of days earlier than when we saw the cold front come through the last time and knock us down a few degrees.
Yeah, and like we've seen throughout the month so far, up and down temperatures still on the board, but you can't beat how beautiful today is now and how it'll stay for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, and even a 49, that's still not too terrible for this time of the year, so I like that.
That's pretty close to where we should be, so those are numbers we can certainly handle.
Absolutely. Nick, thank you so much. And we take this time now to honor today's four-state hero. In fact, it's a family of heroes. Sam Lewis, Otis, Carl, and Leonard Lloyd. All 5 served in the Army during World War II, and all 5 made it home alive. Their hometown, Pittsburgh. We're proud to recognize the Lloyd family, our four-state heroes. Well, the holidays bring people together, and of course that means we need some good food and desserts. And that is exactly what Howard has today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Sometimes there's nothing better or more personal than giving someone a homemade gift. And one that's on the top of my gift giving list this year is a super moist and super easy raspberry bread. We begin by adding some brown and white sugar, a bit of baking soda, and salt to some all-purpose flour. We give this a good mix and set it aside while we whisk an egg into some buttermilk, along with some melted butter, vegetable oil, and a little vanilla. Now we add this to our dry ingredients, and once everything's combined, we fold in some fresh raspberries that we toss with a bit of flour. You see, tossing the berries with the flour prevents them from sinking to the bottom of the batter while it bakes. Then this goes into a loaf pan and we pop it in the oven for about an hour or until it passes the toothpick test. After this cools a bit, it's ready to slice and serve. Or if you wrap it in cellophane and fancy it up with some ribbon, it makes the perfect homemade gift. To get the recipe for our Razzle Dazzle raspberry bread, along with the recipe for our addictive white chocolate cream cheese to smear on it, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a razzle-dazzling way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Of course, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. All you need to do, head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And now, here's a look at 4 state market prices.
Let's check out the forecast before we wrap things up. 56, chilly, but much warmer today compared to yesterday. We'll go upper 60s for Thursday, 73 on Friday. But Friday's when our next cold front will be rolling in. Not only will we get that a few showers for Friday afternoon and evening, but it's going to cool us right back down again Saturday and Sunday as that front clears out.
Certainly much nicer conditions than what we've seen the last few days.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it. Something else we're looking forward to, Dow Quick, with what's coming up tonight at 5.
Whole lot coming up at 5. For starters, millions of Americans have been quitting their jobs this year. We're going to hear from one man who resigned his position to take a 2-year break in Thailand. Plus, a Missouri lawmaker introduces legislation for a new requirement for new drivers. We're going to break down the bill and check out some fun, engaging gift ideas locally made. Those are the best kind. You join us for those stories, a whole lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5. Chris.
Certainly a lot to look forward to, a great forecast to look forward to, and a beautiful day to look forward to. And we thank you so much for joining us. As Dow mentioned, we'll see you back here at 5. Thanks for making us part of your day.